Hi everybody, welcome back. Today we're going to be learning about arrays, and our objective is going to be to create an array and to be able to sort it alphabetically and to select a value from the array. So what is an array? An array is used to store multiple values in a variable. And so the way you can think about it, and I know that for me at first an array was a little bit confusing, but an array is kind of like a shelf, and I have this picture here that you can visualize. So you can see that this shelf has a few compartments. You have a top row, you have a side row, you have a bottom row, and you have all these rows that make up the shelf. And so everything inside of this shelf has something, whether it's a bowl, a book, and this whole thing is what makes up the array. And what we will see is that we can um, create a statement to pull things from an array, just like you pull maybe a jar from your shelf, or maybe you pull the cereal in the morning from your shelf or something like that. So that's a way that you can visualize an array. And so our approach here that we have, kind of using the shelf example. So what we do here is, since this array is going to be a string type, we use a string and we use square brackets, and we use a variable. We can choose any variable. In my case, I use my shelf, and then we assign it, which means that it's going to contain something. And in this shelf, or in this array, we're going to have a book, a cup, a plant, and a jar. And so just like our shelf, it holds different objects or elements, as you could say. And then from there, we're going to print out the element. We're going to grab something. And so what are we going to grab? We're going to grab the first element, which I also want to explain that an array has different positions, which we call indices. And so you have 0, 1, 2, and 3. And so as you can see here, a book is at a value, is in the position of 0. A cup is at the position of 1. A plant is at the position of 2. And a jar is at position of 3. So this statement here, the print statement, is calling for the position at 1. So that means that we're going to get a cup. And so if we step into our code, we will see what happens if we run it. Yep, so as you can see, we got a cup because a cup is at position number 1. Now let's say we put position number 0. We got a book, position number 2, plant, position 3, a jar. Perfect. So I think that pretty much sums up at a basic level of what exactly an array is. So now let's jump into our activity. So one of my favorite wrestlers growing up was Mick Foley, and I really liked his hardcore style, especially all the tools or weapons he brought to the ring. It was very exciting for me when he would pull out something randomly from the bottom of the ring, or just anything, just the way he was able to the way he was able to use those weapons. It was incredible. So let's let's create an array of the different weapons that Mick Foley used. So we'll say Foley's shelf is equal to, and we'll say steel chair. We'll say, what else did he bring? Thumbtacks for sure. Thumbtacks. Barbie, tables, candlesticks. I think he also brought a trash can. And we will do one more, Mr. Sacco. Alright, perfect. So this is our array, and as you can see, we have this array of Mick Foley's weapons that he brought to the ring. So now we can select things from our array, and so we can use our shortcut, SOUT, and then we can say Foley shelf, and we'll select maybe Mick Foley wants to use thumbtacks in this case. So we'll say, because remember thumbtacks is at position number 1 and steel chair is at position number 0. So thumbtacks. And again, we can say maybe 3, and let's see what happens. Tables. Perfect. So what if we wanted to print out the entire list? So we could do that. So we'll do SOUT, then we will do arrays to string, and then we will put Foley shelf. And that should print out this entire, all the elements in this array. And there you go. All the elements have been printed. So what if Mick Foley wanted to have a list of his weapons in alphabetical order? So we could easily do that. So we'll say arrays, we'll say sort, and here we'll put Foley shelf because that's what we want to sort. And then we use our print statement again because now the list has been alphabetized by the arrays statement. So we'll say our print, and then we'll say arrays, just like we did earlier, to string, and we'll say Foley shelf, and now this should be alphabetized. Yep, so Barbie's number 1, and trash can is last. So as you can see, this is how you can create an array. You can select different elements from your array, and you can also alphabetize an array. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you around.